Yeah, welcome to Landis Performance Channel. Today we're going to deal with a rear main seal that keeps leaking. So we're working on this 46 Ford with a 427 small block Chevy, a two-piece rear main seal, and we've tried multiple seals and we keep having rear main leak. So doing some research, we ran across this ingenious little seal. It's made by GST in the UK, and it's actually a one-piece seal that has a cut, and you actually fold it around the crank and you put the seam at 12 o'clock. Now there's no part lines for the oil to leak, and it's got a Teflon coating on it, so it works real well for high vacuum race engines, and they say it can seal up to 29 inches of vacuum, so it should definitely fix our rear main issue. We were able to purchase it in the United States from a company, Fast Fish, and they're in North Carolina. So fastfishautoparts.com if you want to try one of these seals. They make them for big block Chevy, small block Chevy, some of the BOP engines, and Mopar engines. So we're going to give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Here's the oil pan we're using on this engine. It's a Steph's aluminum oil pan. Kick out because of the stroker motor, and it's got billet end caps in it. Very good pan. Always work well and always seal well. And here's the engine. It's a Dart SHP block with a scat rotating assembly in it. Both pieces look to be fine. I didn't take the engine back apart, so I don't know, but I have a feeling there's a machine mark or a machine groove in the block, and that's what's causing our rear main issue. But we're going to try the new GST seal and see if that doesn't rectify the situation. Okay, so we have the rear main seal, the cap and the oil pump off the motor. We've cleaned up around it. It was pretty clean already before. So now we're going to proceed just the way the instructions read. We're going to clean everything. We've loosened all the main caps. I took two pry bars and tried to pulled the crank down a little bit just to give it a little bit of extra gap. We're going to take the special grease that came with it. We're going to lube the crank side of the seal. That way the seal's not dry against the crankshaft. A little tub of grease there. Okay, now on the seal, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it has flywheel side on it, so that's got to go facing the flywheel. That gives you the lip seal the right orientation. So now we're just going to twist it and feed it around the crankshaft. Okay, so we're going to take a pair of needle nose and just kind of help it around the back of the crank. Okay, so now we have the entire seal around. You can see the part line right there. So now, okay, we're going to use a small dab of silicone on the end. We just want to be careful not to get any on the actual crank surface or seal. Okay, just a little coating on the edge. Now we gotta spin the seal back up to where it's at 12 o'clock. Okay, that should be there. Now we'll go ahead and reinstall the cap, and we're going to use a little anabolic sealer on the edges of the cap. There's the rear main cap. You can see clean bearings and everything. We just did that on the edges to make up any imperfections in the block. Actually, let's fix that. Put assembly lube on. Now we'll reinstall the cap. Okay, now we're going to re-torque all the mains back to spec, reinstall the oil pump, and we'll go ahead and put the pan back on. All right, so on this block, the mains are 65, and the 3/8 outer bolts, because it's a 4-bolt main block, they're 35. So we'll go ahead and torque them. Okay, now we'll put the oil pan gaskets on, put the pan back in. Okay, so we got the block all clean. We got the gaskets and the block covered with gasket cinch. That's the sealer I like to use. Holds the gaskets on real good. Now we'll just put a little dab of clear silicone where the rubber and the paper gaskets meet. All right, we're ready to put the pan on. Thank you. Okay, so now we get the pan on with the 4 corner bolts. Now we'll put the rest of the bolts in, fill it with oil, and see what we have. Stay tuned. Okay, so after a bunch of road tests, heat cycles, a couple days of sitting, there you can see no more rear main seal leak. So if you have any issues trying to get a 2-piece rear main seal, whether big block or small block, sealed up,
that GST seal might be the trick. It was for this one. Leave some comments in the end of the video if you have any questions. Like and share. Subscribe. We're close to 500 viewers. At 500, we're going to give away a couple hoodies and a bunch of t-shirts and stuff. So, you know, subscribe, get in the contest. Thanks. See you.